Good morning, dear student. In our previous session, we started our new chapter, Basic Problem of an Economy, and we studied about economic problem. We studied about economic problem, central or basic problem of an economy. We also studied what to produce, how to produce, whom to produce. Dear student, in this session, we will study about efficient use of resources and economic growth and economic development. These two topics will be covered in this particular session. Okay, student, now let us start with our today's class. Our topic is efficient utilization or efficient use of resources. Dear student, as you all are familiar with the central problem of an economy, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Okay, basically basically the goods are to be produced or distributed. Okay, so the important question arises here is the production or distribution efficient? Okay, it is efficient, or there is something which we have to do? Okay, we all know that we have scarce resources and we have to fulfill all our unlimited want with the help of those limited resources. Okay, so how efficiently we manage those scarce resources, it is simply represents our efficient management of resources. Because as we all know that resources are limited in quantity, but our wants are unlimited, and our wants are always changes day by day. Okay, and when our one want fulfilled, then our new want create in the economy. So want is always unlimited, and but the resources or the mean of production is limited. So how efficiently we use those resources is simply represent the efficient use of resources. Okay, student, now production is said to be efficient if it is not possible to produce more of one good without reducing the output of any other good. Okay, student, it simply represents that, okay, if you are producing a good, okay, without sacrificing the resource for another good, it simply represents that your production is efficient. Okay, then only you can say your production capacity or the production is efficient. But in case if you are producing a good by sacrificing or by reducing the output of another good, it simply represents your production is inefficient. Okay, in the same way the distribution is efficient. It is not possible to make any one person or person better off without making any other person or individual worse off throughout the reduction of goods. Okay, this is known as distribution is efficient. You can say a distribution is efficient when you not make a person worse off for making a person better off, then your distribution is efficient. But if you make one person, okay, if you make one person worse off for making a another person better off, so it simply represent that your distribution is inefficient. Okay, student, so we have to manage resources in such a manner that we can fulfill the need of not only the present generation, we can fulfill the need of future generation also. So that's why we have to manage resources in an efficient way. Okay, so that so that if you think from the producer point of view, we cannot reduce the output of one commodity for production of another commodity. And if you think from a distribution point of view, then we have not to make a person worse off or making some other person better off. Okay, student, now there should be no wastage of available productivity resources. Okay, all the resources which we have not misused those resources. Okay, student, we always use those resources in an efficient manner, and we have to save those resources as much as we can. Okay, next is an economy must ensure that resources need to be utilized to provide maximum possible products. Okay, so, as an economic point of view, you should use your resources in such a way that this resources you can use that resources in such a manner that you can maximize utilize those resources. Okay, with that limited resources you can fulfill the need of too many people. Okay, so your efficiency should be good in a manner that the output produced by those resources fulfill the need of all the people simultaneously. Okay, now next is an economy must ensure that these resources are efficiently utilized. There would be less economic development if its resources are misused or remain idle. Okay, in both the cases, if you are if you were using the resources in an inefficient manner, and the second thing, if the resources remain idle without utilizing the resources, okay, you cannot fulfill the need of the people, or you cannot ensure the economic growth. Like in case of what to produce, if you are using capital good, if you are producing capital good, then you will go for the economic growth. Okay, your motive is for economic development. But if you are going towards the consumer good, then your motive is social welfare. Okay, in both the cases, in one case you will receive your GDP growth or development, but in the another case you will receive only social welfare. So you have to decide how efficiently you use your resources, how efficiently resources should be managed. Like in the case of how to produce, you have two type of technology: labor intensive, capital intensive. So you have to choose that which technique you would like to use for production of a commodity. Like in case of capital good, okay, again the focus in case of capital intensive technique, again the focus is towards GDP growth. Okay, you will use more of the capital in compared to labor, and in case of labor intensive good, you will use more of the labor as compared to capital. So how efficiently you utilize your resources to fulfill the need, it's simply known as efficient utilization of resources. Because this is why we need this efficient utilization of resources, because we have scarce means, we have scarce resources, and whatever resources we have, those resources have alternative wants. Okay, those resources have alternative want, so that's why we have to manage those resources in a efficient manner. Okay student, now next let's move to our next topic, which is economic growth and economic development. Dear student, we studied these terms in a very closely related manner. Okay, in our day-to-day life we talk about these terms. Okay, we hear about these terms. Okay, we frequently use these terms like growth and development, but we very few of us will familiar with the difference between growth and development. Okay student, in this particular session we will explain these terms in a precise meaning. Okay, in economics, what is the meaning of economic growth, what is the meaning of economic development. Now we are going to study these in a precise manner. Okay, now let's start with economic growth. Dear student, economic growth, if you talk about economic growth, then economic growth generally means an increase in national income or per capita output or income over time. Economic growth simply represents the increase in national income or per capita income. Now the question is, what is this per capita income or what is this per capita output? Per capita output represents the output produced by every individual, per individual of a country. Okay, it represents the average, okay, per individual of a country. So economic growth, whenever you talk about economic growth, generally it represents the increase in national income. National income, you can calculate national income with the help of GDP growth. Like GDP, you often hear about this term GDP, this is gross domestic product. Okay, so by this we can measure the growth of a country. Okay, per capita income is growing, it simply represents the country is growing. If per capita income is not growing, it simply represents the country is not growing. Okay, so it indicates, economic growth indicates towards quantitative growth of a country. The essence of economic growth is the increase in the average availability of goods and services so as to bring about an improvement in the standard of living of the average citizen of a country. That's why we focus towards growth, because whenever economic, dear student, try to understand that there is a difference between growth and development. Growth is a narrow concept, development is a broader concept. Okay, growth is a part of development. Okay, without growth development is not possible. So when we talk about growth and development, then always remember growth is a narrow concept, development is a broad concept, and if you wish to achieve development, you have to fulfill your growth. Okay, you have to achieve your growth, and the growth in term of economics, it simply represents per capita output, okay, in national income, okay, or income over time. So your per capita income output should be increases, then only you say that your economy is growing. Okay, student. Now, if population growth surpasses the growth of national income, or per capita income would fall, leading to fall in the average standard of living. As we all know, if your population growth is surpasses, population growth is more as compared to your income growth. Suppose your population growth is higher. Suppose population is growth by 100%. Okay, your population grow 100% and your income growth is only 50%. So we cannot fulfill the need of present generation. Okay, as we know that the population is more, income is less, so that's why your income growth or economic growth should be more as compared to your population growth. Okay, in such a situation, more growth in national income would not mean economic growth. Okay, in case if your population is growing more than your economic growth, then simply it means that your national income would not mean your economic growth, because your population is more than your national income. As you know that per capita income, if you talk about per capita income, if you talk about per capita income, then per capita income you will calculate total income of a country, total income of a country divided by total population. Okay, total income of a per capita income means total income divided by total population, then you will find the per capita income of a country. Okay, now move to our next part, which is therefore a more appropriate definition of economic growth is in term of rise in per capita income, which means increase in the average standard of living of a people. Okay, per capita income represents our standard of living. If per capita income increases, it simply represents that standard of people in a country is increasing. Okay, student. Now, not for this, per capita income must increase in real term. For instance, example, if per capita income of money term rises by 20% and supporting price level would increase by 20%, so real per capita income will remain unchanged. This shows that if the price of a commodity increases by 20%, suppose you eat some food, like bread, butter, jam, okay, cereals, okay, your grains, suppose the price of those commodities increases by 20% and your income also increases by your real income. Okay, real income means after paying tax the amount which you have, this is your real income. Okay, when your in price increases by 20%, your income is also increased by 20%, so the change in your income is zero. Okay, zero. Suppose initially the price of a commodity is rupees 100 and at the and the next time the price of the commodity is 150, at that time your earning is rupees 100, and again if you are earning rupees 150, then according to your honor your income increases by 50. But if you see the case of price is also increased by 50, then there is no effect of increase in this particular income. Okay, student, so there is no impact of increase in your income on the price or on the standard of living which you are going through. Your standard of living remains same because the inflation is going increases with your increase in income. Okay, student. Now, from the above discussion, 3 points need to be noted in the definition of economic growth. These are: first point is economic growth means an increase in per capita income, which is a measure of the per capita availability of goods and services. That's why whenever you talk about economic growth, it simply represents your per capita income. Okay, your standard of growth is your standard of living is increasing or not. Second is rise in per capita income in real terms would mean economic growth. Okay, if your per capita income is increasing, it simply represents your economic growth. Okay, if it is not increasing, that it's not, then you are not achieving your economic growth. Rise in per capita income over time, and over time your per capita income should be increased. So student, this is our economic, this is the points, these are the points of our economic growth. Now let's move towards our next topic, which is economic development. Dear student, unlike economic growth, the term economic development signifies quantitative aspects of economic progress of a country. For economic development to take place, increase in national income must be accomplished by fall in poverty ratio, reduction in income inequality and employment. Dear student, this is the basic difference which you have to understand, that in economic growth our motive is only increase in per capita income. Okay, per capita income of an individual. Okay, per capita income, our motive is to increase in per capita income. But in case of development, our motive is increase in per capita income, increase in per capita income. Okay, our motive is increase in per capita income with increase in per capita income with reduction of poverty. With reduction of poverty, your poverty should be reduced. Next, your inequality should be reduced. So that's why economic development is a wider or is a broad term as compared to the economic growth. Okay, student. Now, economic growth refers to increase in national income and per capita income, while economic development refers to increase in per capita income accompanied by change in structure of the economy. Thus, economic development equals economic growth plus structural change. This is the important point which you have to note down. Economic growth equals economic development equals economic growth plus structural change. Okay, if national income and per capita income increases without any change in the structure of the economy, it will be treated as economic growth but not economic development. Okay, student, if your per capita income is increasing but increase in per capita income, you have not there is no change in the economic structure, like reduction of poverty, there is no change in reduction of poverty, there is still unemployment in the economy, there is no infrastructure development in the economy. Okay, so you simply say that you achieve the economic growth but there is no economic development. For economic development you have to achieve all the other aspects also. Okay, student, now the following structure changes take place during the process of economic growth. The first one is the contribution of the agriculture sector in national income decreases while those of industry and service sector increases. Second point is the percentage of people engaged in the agriculture sector falls while the percentage of people engaged in industry and services trend to rise. Okay, student, this is because of economic development, because when economic development take place, the industrial sector grows, services sector grows and agriculture sector falls down. Okay, the contribution of agriculture sector falls down. Okay, not the people engaged in agriculture sector, the contribution of agriculture sector falls down. Okay, now when the economic development start increasing, okay, then the people start migrating or they start migrate from agriculture sector to our manufacturing sector to services sector. Okay, student, next is the percentage of people engaged in the agriculture sector falls while the percentage of people engaged in industry or services sector tends to rise. As economic growth take place, I told you that when economic growth start increasing, then people migrate towards agriculture, migrate towards industry and the services sector. Okay, they migrated from the agriculture sector. Okay, student, our next point is in the process of development, urbanization take place. The proportion of urban population tends to rise because more of the people migrate towards the urban areas, migrate towards the cities. Okay, for searching of job and etc. As you can see in the recent COVID-19 case, that many laborers, okay, many workers, okay, they are still at the same place, they are still in the cities, they okay, and they want to move towards their villages because they all are the migrated labor. Okay, they are migrated from small villages, they are migrated from village or small cities to big cities in for searching of work. Okay, so this is the problem, okay, which economic development faces. So migration of labor is a problem. So we have to solve the problem of migration of labor also if we really want to achieve economic growth. Okay. Now, thus economic growth does not necessarily imply economic development, whereas economic development does always means economic growth. Okay, student, if you achieve economic growth, but you are but due to other reasons like poverty, inequality, okay, like policy gaps, due to these reasons you will not achieve economic development. So we can say that economic achieving economic growth doesn't means economic development, but economic development means always economic growth. Okay, student. Now, in the words of UNO, development concern not only man's material needs but also the improvement of social conditions of his life. Development is therefore not only economic growth plus change, social, culture, and institutional as well as economic. Okay, so development is a wider term as compared to the economic growth. Okay, student. Now, in the last, difference between economic growth and economic development. There are four difference between economic growth and economic development. You have to note down these points. Okay, first, economic growth and economic development. Economic growth implies an increase in real NNP and per capita income. NNP, the word NNP here represent net national product. Okay, net national product. This is your NNP, net national product. Okay, so increase in per capita income. Economic growth means increase in per capita income. Economic development implies an increase in real income and per capita income plus structural change in the economy. Always remember that economic development means economic growth plus structural change in the economy. Then only development is achieved. Second point is economic growth relates to the problem of developed countries. Okay, it is the main problem of developed countries. Economic development, it is concerned with the problem of underdeveloped countries. Third point, economic growth may occurs without economic development. Okay, economic growth can be achieved without economic development, but economic development is not possible only with economic growth. So if you want economic development, you have economic growth. Okay, so that's why economic growth is important for economic development, but economic development is not important for economic growth. Economic growth can be achieved without economic development. Okay, student. Last point is economic growth is a quantitative aspects or quantitative concept, as it is measured by increase in real national income. By increasing your real national income, you can easily measure economic growth. But if you talk about economic development, how this economic growth is measured in the term of GDP per year. Per year you calculate your GDP, gross domestic product. So by this you can easily measure the economic growth. But in the case of economic development, national income increases both quantitatively and qualitatively. The both should be increased in quantitative and qualitative manner. Okay, student, that's it for today. Okay, we will meet with new chapter in our next video. Till now, stay safe and stay at home, student. Thank you so much.